Welcome back, and before we populate this connection to the rest of the location that frames the same as this, let's first of all create uh, some stiffeners here. And to do that, we want to, since this from this edge to that edge is 100, as I had showed you, the extension was 100. I'll copy this point, right click and come to special copy, and I want to copy it along the x-axis. Prior to that, let me just see how that frames the direction of my axis. So I'll select on that, right click and come to special copy right there, pick on linear. So I'll come to y-axis. So under y-axis, I'm going to place it right there, paste it there, and change this to 0, and we're moving against the y-axis. So if I click on that, I'll be able to have that in place. So I'll select that point, I'll come to special copy linear, change that to 0, and I'll come to z-axis, I'll feed in 100 millimeter downward, and if I click on that, it's not downward, and I'll prefix that dimension with a negative sign, and I'm not seeing the point actually. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to bring that axis right here, the XYZ plane right on top on the surface of the plate, so that we don't get some little confusion here. So I'll come to view, I'll come to view more options and pick on the surface. So I want to just place my XYZ right there so that I'll be able to see it clearly. So I'll pick on this plate, I'll pick on that point, come to special copy, and I want to copy in the opposite direction as it is. I'll come to copy, and I'll paste it somewhere there. Paste it there and change this to 0, because you are copying nothing in the direction of the axis as for now. So I'll go ahead and click copy. There we are, and I'll close that. I'll come here, select on that member, come to special copy, and on the z-axis, I'll change that to 0, and on the z-axis, I'll feed in 100 millimeter. If I click on that, I'll be able to see my point in place. If I turn it around, you can see that point in place. I'll copy that point in the x-axis along the x-axis with by a negative 100 right there. So if I click copy, I'll be able to have my point in place. I think this one was blocked by that welding as indication. So I'll come to plate here. So once I'm in plate, I'll pick on that plate, I'll snap on that spot, and zoom close to that spot, and come there and close that loop, and we have my plate in place. But if I zoom close, my plate position is not in the middle here. So I'll double click on it. So the moment I double click on it, first of all, let me change the thickness of plate to 10, and position this to the middle, position it at the middle, and click OK. So I want to create a chamfer here. I'll click on that chamfer and pick the chamfer right there, and I give that chamfer, and I'll give it maybe 65 by 65 right there, and click apply. So once I've done so, I'll be able to mirror this on the other end, and to mirror that, it's very easy. Once I've selected on that, I'll right click and come to special copy here and pick on mirror. So I'll use this midpoint here as my mirror line and snap on that. So invalid selection, and the line direction should not be on the z axis. So I'll go ahead and click OK and click OK. So if I zoom out, I'll be able to go to global position and click on global position there. So if I come back here, right click and come to special copy here and pick on mirror, and I want to define my mirror line along this plate, and create a mirror line right there, and an error invalid location. So what do I do? Because we are getting some errors here, and what this should not be a big issue that should worry us. I want to define a mirror line from this plate to that place. I'll close that once again and come back to that position here and turn it around like that and select it. Once I've selected it, and click special copy and mirror. So this time round, I want to turn to the bottom end here to create a mirror line. So our mirror line is not in the right location. Let me close that. And or we can do this. We can bring our XYZ plane to the surface of this member. So once I've come to view there and come to option, pick on the surface and pick on that, right click. So I'll select on that member, right click and come to special copy and pick on mirror and come to the same location here and define that as our mirror line. And if you click run, we'll be able to copy that member on the other side. You can see it is on the other side. So what we can do, we can create welding on that side. So to create weld, we'll come to weld. We want to weld this to that and weld this to that. So if I turn it around, you'll be able to see there's a weld has been created. So that's it. So we want to populate this connection to similar places as frames the same way. So what we do, we want to select this joint here. Let's select the joint. Press Ctrl and include any member that might be left out. Select on that. So if I right click, if I come to IntelliClone and click Clone All, you can see at least one joint must be selected. I'll close that. I'll turn around and select everything right there. So if I come to clone, at least one joint must be selected. Try again and click OK, and I'll remove any part that's not needed. Then I'll click on that, then come to Clone All, and at least one should be selected. So let me select everything right there and come to Clone All. So we still have an error. So the reason why is because we need at least a joint. So the joint we want to close, we can go ahead and select this member, select that member, select this member, and turn around. So we need a joint here. So to get that joint or to see that joint here, we want to enable this. So we have to select this joint, this node. So if you come to that node and come to Clone All, and we can see we have 33 connected joints found in the model. So that is not the right location, and that is not what we intend to copy, because this connection we know only have 3. So what we want is only 3 to be highlighted there. So what we want to do, once select it once again, and if you come to clone, and that is what you're getting. So let's deal with it on the next presentation, because we don't want to take a lot of time on this. So since we are trimming our time into 10 minutes, don't want to go past 10, because normally the attention of human being is, we are even exceeding that, because we are reaching 10, so maybe 5 minutes maximum or minimum. So let's meet on the next presentation as I show you how you can clone this.